Welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. This is the last outside the box card that I'm going to do from the July 2021 Paper Pumpkin kit, The Adventure Begins. And this one is really far outside the box. The only element from the kit I'm using is actually the punch-out stencil from one of the die cuts. So when you punch your elements out, you get left with the outline. And this actually is exactly the same as the stamp. It's exactly the same shape as the stamp. So you could do this using the stamp if you wanted to, but I really liked the effect on here where it's kind of lighter and darker colors. So I thought I would make the stencil, and I added some cardstock around the edge so that when I went over with the brush, I didn't smudge up my paper. So to make the card, you'll need your stencil. You'll need Pear Pizzazz ink, and I used the word joy from the Merriest Moments stamp set. It's in the mini catalog, so it's available August 3rd. I also used some wonderful gems, and I used the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. So let's go ahead and get started by embossing the background paper. And this Painted Texture folder is so versatile. Depending on what you use it for, it can look like an art canvas, it can look like a snowscape. I really like the way it kind of looks like snow in this one. So I am just going to, as I say, run this through and we'll get it going here. So I hope that you have enjoyed this series of videos using the card kit. I do really like the card kits and how many different things you can do with them, and I really enjoy getting everybody's suggestions and what colors they used and how they put theirs together. So I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal and adhere this to the Pear Pizzazz card base. And we'll just line that up and drop it down. Now I'm going to take my stencil, and this piece is, I think I cut it to 3 by 4 1/4. I just wanted it big enough that I could use my stitch rectangle die. So I'm just going to place this over. I'd like the tree to be just a little bit higher up so I've got room for the word joy underneath. So what I'm going to do is, I'll put it over here so you can see. I'm actually going to just bring this down till I know it's below the top of the card. And I can see the bottom edge of the card, or the piece of paper here. So I know that I'm roughly central as it is there. So I am going to get my blending brush and my Pear Pizzazz, and I'm just going to come in kind of in the direction the tree branches would grow. And you can do this with as much color or as little color as you like. You can just keep coming in. I like kind of swooping it up. It doesn't you can't see the direction later on, but what you can see is the effect of the colors. So I'm just going to pull that off, and you can see the shape there. I'm going to take my word joy and just stamp it at the bottom like that. And then I am going to take my embossing plates, or my cutting plates, and I need this, and I will be using some sticky notes to hold this down so I know that I've got it centered and straight and it's in place. Okay, So I cannot emphasize how handy sticky notes are when you're doing these. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that through and we will build the front of the card. I used dimensionals to attach this cutout to the front of the card. And to make the star at the top, I have some leftover glitter paper, the red glitter paper, and I used a retired stamp, or a retired punch, sorry, a little star. So I had originally thought that I would dimensionalize the little star, but when I did, it just looked a little funny. So I punched it out, and I am just going to use Stampin' Seal to attach it. So I'm just going to pop it on like that, make sure it's straight, and there we go. And this is how frugal I am with my glitter paper. This is the piece that I had left. I cut the one star for the example here, and I cut the other one out of there. So I keep all the glitter paper, I keep all the little bits. Now I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and the Wonderful Gems, and I'm just going to add some bling to the front here. Just, you can use as many or as few. You could use different colored ones if you wanted to. There's clear ones that would actually look quite good on this, but I wanted there to be just a little bit of razzle dazzle on this one. And that's, so yes, you could put the clear ones on. The clear ones would look quite pretty, and you could put a gold star at the top. It would, that would look nice as well. So you can interpret this any way you like. You can create it any way you like, using your color choices. I quite like non-traditional colors as well on Christmas cards, like the soft pink. I really quite like soft pink on a Christmas card. So I'm just going to keep adding these on. You wouldn't be able to make a lot of cards with this unless you had lots of sheets of the gems, but this is really nice if you just need to make a couple of cards. And I am just going to pop another one of these up in here like that. Okay, so I am now going to take my dimensionals, and sorry, it needs one more. I am going to add one more gem, and I'm just going to pop it right there. I'm going to use dimensionals, as I said, to attach this to the front of the card. And then we are all done. So I'm not going to put a dimensional in the middle, because if this goes through the mail, it's going to need to squash down just a little bit so that it doesn't come through the envelope. These ones, it shouldn't. They aren't any sharp edges, and I've had cards sent to me through the mail that have these type of gems on them, and they've been just fine. So I am just going to center that, make sure it's straight before I actually push it down, and there we go. There is the finished card using a stencil made from the die cuts in the Paper Pumpkin Kit for July 2021. I hope you've enjoyed this, and let's create together again soon.